Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook with your host Edward McQueen and April Garner Davis.
Wow. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Happy holidays to everybody, and happy holiday to the expected holiday, which is New Year's. And thank you all for joining us. I'm your host, Ed McQueen. Of course, I'm co-host, and of course, Ms. April Garner Davis is taking at the helm this evening. So, April, we're talking about some strong academics here. We're talking about the Academy of Hope, which has been a strong academic influence in Conway for a while. And we're my understanding that new leadership is on the helm here, or is about to. And I, in particular, didn't keep up with the information regarding the new helm. So I think you know a bit more about it than I do. So if you don't mind, you can chime in on our audience and give us a little bit of introduction about that. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, well, first of all, good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us on WCM Live. If you will, please post your questions and comments in the chat for our special guest, and we would appreciate any comments or suggestions that will help us with this conversation with the new interim principal of the Academy of Hope, Dr. Eugene Bellamy. And we definitely wanted to introduce him to the community, and because he's definitely known by some, but he's new to others. And so we're going to give him an opportunity to talk a little bit about his credentials and his vision for the school. And also it is recruitment season for the Academy of Hope. There's mid-year recruitment, but also recruitment for the coming year, 26-27. So he'll have the opportunity to talk about that as well. So without further ado, welcome, Dr. Eugene Bellamy. How are you doing?
I am great. All is well. How are you?
Awesome.
Doc, good to see you, man.
Good to see you as well.
Looking for great things at the Academy of Hope.
Yes, we are.
Yeah. So, Eugene, thank you for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And so, Brother Edward, now I know you know about the Academy of Hope. It's been around since 2009.
Yeah,
and
we got fantastic Miss Dolores Rozier as chairman of the board, I believe, right?
She's the board chair. Yes, and yeah. But the Academy of Hope, of course, was founded in 2009, and it's actually migrated from its original location, which was at Cherry Hill Missionary Baptist Church, and then eventually it ended up out at the current location, which is on Jennifer Bay Road. After the most recent retirement of the former principal, Dr. Bellamy has been brought on board to pretty much take the helm and to lead the Academy of Hope into the next level of education. And so, Dr. Bellamy, why don't you start by telling our viewing audience a little bit about yourself, and then we'll get more into the vision for the Academy of Hope.
All right. Well, good evening, everyone. I am Dr. Eugene Bellamy Jr., a proud product of the large community of Bucksport, South Carolina. And I don't take that lightly. So it is definitely an honor and a privilege to be back in Horry County School, to be of service to students and families in Horry County, as this is where I got my education. My background is that I'm not a traditional educator. My undergraduate was at Coastal Carolina University, majoring in communication with a minor in music voice. And then I went to Florida Agricultural and Mechanical University to get a Master of Education in Educational Leadership. And while working on my master's degree, I was able to get certified in middle grades math and administration. And so upon returning to South Carolina, I taught in Marion County for 2 years, Horry County for 4 years, and then I transitioned into administration in Jasper County as an assistant principal at the middle school level, eventually becoming a principal at the middle school level. And then between Jasper County and Marion County over the last 5-6 years, roles of coordinator, director of elementary and middle school learning, and then in my most recent position as the Director of Federal Programs and Strategic Planning for Jasper County School District. So the last 15 years have been busy. And I forgot to mention my first year in Florida was actually in a K-2 emotional behavior disorder classroom as an instructional paraprofessional. So I've done the support side, I've done the teacher side, I've done school level administration and district level administration. And I'm definitely excited about the opportunity to lead the Academy of Hope.
Okay. Well, you certainly do have impressive credentials, and it sounds like you have pretty much almost done the A to Z in education. And especially as director of federal programs in your last role, I guess that was something that was pretty intriguing, especially considering the fact that a lot of schools are dependent on federal assistance in terms of the financial support and resources. So,
Right.
yeah. So, yeah, that's great. So, Eugene, the Academy of Hope. What attracted you to the Academy of Hope?
I must say that I have always been intrigued by charter schools, and even when I was working on my master's degree, there was a desire to at some point either start my own charter school or work in the charter world, because it does provide unique opportunities for students that they aren't able to get in mainstream public schools.
Right.
It also is supposed to provide smaller class sizes so that there's more direct contact between students and teachers, and more one-on-one or individualized type learning so that students can meet their academic goals, and work towards reaching proficiency. So with the unique capabilities of a charter school, and understanding, Academy of Hope's background with Mandarin immersion, and still functioning in the arena of language immersion, and then even tied to its mission, focusing on entrepreneurship, which I think is a critical skill for all students. And so if we can lead the charge on exposing students to the world of business, as well as providing them opportunities to learn a second language, that would definitely pivot them into being one, effective citizens locally, but also on a global scale, because they'll be able to communicate beyond the language of English.
Mm-hmm. I like what you described in terms of the smaller class sizes, because as I can imagine that learning is very different now than it was once upon a time, and also there's different types of students and student situations and conditions that we probably always had to deal with, but may have not been in the forefront in past years. And now it's almost like education has evolved to actually accommodate more students who have kind of unique learning styles or unique learning abilities. And so smaller classroom sizes and the ability for the academy to incorporate some things that are unique to the learning environment, it sounds like it's pretty exciting.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, you took the helm on December 20th, and you've been very busy getting ready for the January 5th return to school. The students and faculty and staff have been on break for the winter, for the Christmas holidays. And so now it's time to get back to learning. And, what do you think is like the vision for the school that will help you to set the momentum for the rest of the year? We'll start with the rest of the year.
So focusing on the rest of the year, I guess the baseline mantra would be simply finishing strong. This is going to be an adjustment, of course, for me transitioning mid-year, but it's also going to be an adjustment for the faculty of the Academy of Hope, the students, the parents, and the community that continues to support the Academy of Hope. And so all of the work that we plan to do for this next part of the year is rooted in family and community engagement. We need our community at large visible and present at the Academy of Hope, showing the students that they have the support of the community. And when we talk long term, we're going to also, you'll see some things coming out for us in terms of partnerships with local businesses, with individuals, so on and so forth. Because with charter schools, there is also, you know, the fundraising side for to ensure that we're making the appropriate investments in our students. So that family and community engagement piece, understanding that we have an open door. We want you to visit us at the Academy of Hope. Our students need to see you. The one thing that I've learned in federal programs over the last year is that the most critical component of an effective school, beyond teaching and learning and having great teachers, is knowing that parents and the community support students. And so we will start with that. And we're excited about on January 5th having the opportunity to invite some of our community in to support us with some things we have going on. Because I do want to spend some time getting to know the teachers, spend some time getting to know the students. And so that's coming through the door, making sure that the community knows we have an open door policy. And then secondly, and more importantly, if you're thinking education wise, is ensuring that we have high quality teaching and learning going on at the Academy every day. And there, no computer can replace a teacher. There's nothing like having a high quality teacher or instructor in front of a student every day to give our students the best hope and the best chance. So I look forward to opportunities to partner with our teachers, provide professional development to ensure that everything we're presenting our students on a daily basis is actually aligned to the South Carolina College and Career Readiness Standards, and is preparing our students to meet mastery. So be meets or exceeds on the state assessment. Looking at ways to make sure that we have effective interventions in place for students that are struggling, but letting them know. My mantra when I was a teacher was that every child is destined and purpose for greatness. And so when they walk through the doors of the Academy of Hope, they should feel like they're walking into an opportunity to achieve greatness. And so they're all going to take their own paths. You know, some are going to take a long path, some are going to take a short path. But at the end of the day, if the adults, every adult in their life, beginning with me as the principal, extending to the teachers, the parents, and the community, if every adult who they come into contact with reinforces the fact that they are destined and purpose for greatness and provides that level of support around them, we're going to do some great things at the Academy. And so that presents definitely the opportunity at this point to say, we're recruiting. We want your child at the Academy of Hope. Our focus for mid-year is 5th through 8th grade, but at this point, we're a pre-K through 8 school. So if you want your child to experience a high-quality environment that supports them individually, but also builds them up collectively as a part of a unit or a family that believes in the power of education and motivating students, and believes in that every child is equipped with their own purpose and their own destiny. We want you at the Academy of Hope. We have an active website, www.theacademyofhope.org. There's a registration tab. You know, while we're on here, go ahead and go to the website and register your child for mid-year enrollment. We do want them there in all seriousness. Just excited about the future for the students as well as the staff at the Academy.
Mm-hmm. So, Eugene, for those who do not know, and as you can see, this is the Academy of Hope's website, recent overhaul of the website. So there's lots of great information on here if you want to learn more about the school. But there's also, as you can see, a connection to Horry County Schools in that the parent portal, which of course leads to what everybody knows as Power School, is accessible. And so talk a little bit about the connection to Horry County School District, because I don't know that the community really understands how the Academy of Hope operates and the affiliation.
Yes. So while the Academy of Hope is sponsored by Horry County Schools, they serve as our a local education agency. And that simply means that the Academy of Hope is not a part of the South Carolina charter system. They're not a part of Erskine charter system. They are actually a part of Horry County Schools in terms of them being our LEA. But that really is the extent of the connection with Horry County Schools. There are some conversations we have with them in the background in terms of how we run the school. But charter schools kind of function separately from the district, which is why we have our own board. And in terms of finances and, you know, how we maneuver, all of that is kind of independent of Horry County Schools. They definitely provide us guidance. They definitely will assist us in making sure that we're compliant, and they hold us compliant to, you know, state mandates as it relates to charter schools. But that's the connection. They serve as our LEA, but we function on our own, and we get funding from Horry County Schools based upon, you know, the student allocations that comes from the state. We do get some Title I support as well, but we are also responsible for doing our own individual fundraising to sustain the work that we're trying to do. And again, that is those pieces that kind of set the academy apart from traditional public school.
Mm-hmm. So we have a couple of great comments that have come in, and a couple of questions as well. So Tiffany Andrews, president of the Myrtle Beach branch of NAACP, wants to know, what are your plans regarding IEPs and Rise with Reading? And says that they would like for the Myrtle Beach branch to be able to assist you with both.
So I am not familiar with IAPs, that language.
I think she means
so to
maybe
speak.
IEPs, maybe.
Okay,
maybe
so that's special services. We definitely and IEP could be individual academic plan, IEP individual education plan, but nevertheless, that speaks to where I say we want to make sure we have the intentional interventions. If she is referring to IEPs, you know, there are so many federal regulations around making sure we meet the needs of those students, and what is outlined in that document. That is a federal non-binding, that is a federal binding document, which means we have to service those students based upon the model that we deem best in those plans. As it relates to Rise with Reading, I am excited. I have already developed our Rise with Reading initiative. We're going to roll that out in the month of January. We have elements that we're going to embrace where students can receive incentives for reading, where classes as a whole can receive incentives, and then we're going to have a school goal in terms of reading that will ultimately culminate with a major celebration around literacy. So that will be rolling out. Again in the month of January to our community and to our schools. So that is, we welcome any support that you would like to provide. Please feel free to reach out to me at ebellamy@theacademyofhope.org so that we can chat about it, and I can share that plan with you, and we can talk about ways that the Myrtle Beach branch of the NAACP can support.
Mm-hmm. So, Brother Edward, do you have any thoughts?
I just want to applaud you, man. I think we had you on. Yeah, I was just about to, if everybody can hear me. We had you on our radio program back in, back in 2011, was it, Eugene? And wow, you left an impression on, it's been a while, but you left an impression upon me that I knew that things that these achievements that have come so far had to be gotten by you. So congratulations on all of that. And I know the Academy of Hope is going to be going places, many more places now under your helm. I saw your title as interim, but that remains to be seen as to what could be the final there. And congratulations again. I noticed your work ethic, your mental work ethic or academic work ethic that I noticed. That was during the radio broadcast. Left an impression upon me, man, that I'm certainly glad that you're still hanging in there. I'm still glad you're sticking with Horry County. I mean, a lot of our really, a lot of our qualified people like you, I mean, are just going for higher things, and you can't blame them. I mean, they want to go for better things. So, but anyway, congratulations again.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So again, school is back in session on January the 5th, and we certainly hope that you have a great start to the rest of the year. As you mentioned before, there are a few things that the community can assist with throughout the year and even in the coming years as far as support for the Academy of Hope. Fundraising is one of them. There is also, I believe, on the website, an opportunity for people who are interested in volunteering at the school to sign up. And so let's talk a little bit about the volunteer process. So if someone wants to volunteer to assist with school events or to assist with anything that is related to education during the run of the day, I'm sure that there's a process. They can email you and let you know, and kind of talk a little bit about what happens in that process.
So yes, if you want to be a volunteer, and we can probably, if it's not already on the page, we can definitely get this on the page, do an application that will get us that information directly. If it is someone who wants to work regularly with students, you would get us your information, and we have a process where we would do a background check to ensure that you can be in the building during the day with students. And that's just, formalities that is pretty much mainstream among school districts now. And then we can determine what the best fit is for you in terms of the support that you would like to provide. When we think in terms of other ways of supporting, we're going to have our PTO up and running. And so again, that's another opportunity for our parents to show support.
It's been a long day.
Yeah, I got tongue tied. That's another way for our parents to show support. But one thing that is not mandated by the state of South Carolina for charter schools that I do plan to implement is a school improvement council. And that school improvement council is made up of teachers, parents, and community members. And that is a council that you meet with monthly to ensure that we are staying focused on the academic goals of the Academy of Hope. So that is the council who will look at, our charter. They'll look at our school renewal plan, the goals that we set out yearly, or whatever kind of plans we have in place. And they will ask me the hard questions. Hey, Dr. Bellamy, what kind of progress are we making towards this? If we've already met that goal, are we going to increase that goal? If we're not meeting that goal, what are you going to shift internally at the Academy to make sure we're meeting the goals for our students? And I think that is critically important, because there'll be a lot of narratives out about any school or institution, but when you have people who are sitting at the table and who are actually doing the work and who are actually looking at the numbers and seeing the things that we are trying to do for students, and seeing that develop over time, and it's really hard conversations, because our attendance at the Academy of Hope, in full transparency, is not the highest right now. And so when you're looking at lower numbers, the impact that each child has is exponentially larger than when you have more students in the building. And so the beautiful thing about that is it eliminates the excuse for us as the educators to not get students to a place of academic achievement and performance when the numbers are so low. But again, in order for us to do that, considering that we do have students who are considered special ed and need the individualized attention and support, we do need volunteers. But for me, as the leader of the institution, I also need people holding me accountable beyond the board to say, hey, Dr. Bellamy, this is what we said we're going to do. Are we remaining focused on this? Because sometimes we can get lost in the minutia of the day-to-day of running the school, that we forget the primary reason why we're there. And that is, again, to ensure that our students reach a place of academic excellence and success. And so I'm excited about the volunteers who are willing to come support. That would include with the Rise with Reading. I'm excited about the efforts from our PTO, but more importantly, I'm excited about getting that school improvement council together, so that again, we will move from the ideal of the Academy of Hope being a community school to it actually being something lived out in real time.
Okay, awesome. In terms of school needs right now, I know that we touched on the volunteers, your vision for how the PTO will be engaged and involved, and eventually a school council, improvement council. But when it comes down to just supplies and other resources, how can the community support?
Some things, walking into the building. Um, let's just say I have been busy since December 20th without going into a rabbit hole, getting the school to a place that the students and staff will be proud to walk into on a daily basis. One of the major areas right now that I would really like to enhance in our school, it is an older building and we're responsible for that, is we have a cafetorium. It's very small, but the staging area, we're trying to get that updated. It needs some tender loving care. And so if we have someone from our community who is in the carpeting industry or who is willing to donate to us some of the outside carpet or, even the indoor carpeting for our stage, and there's a couple of steps on the front of the stage that needs to be covered. That's one of the areas that we definitely need support immediately, as well as painting. If there's anyone from our community who owns a painting company and who has the kilt, that goes up, that's for like it covers mildew and all that stuff. When you paint over it, kind of locks that in. That would be great for us to have too, and that's just the basic white to do that. So that's a big need for us right now. That's one of the primary areas that I want to focus on. Beyond that, I think that there'll be more needs in terms of the building, but I really want us to get through the door and kind of established from some of the other fronts that we brought forth. And I think once people get in the building and show their face and see the work that we're trying to do with students, it will be much easier for us to petition the community for support, because they'll kind of get to see it for themselves. And so to that end, I invite, again, anyone to come visit us. I'll be there for the rest of the week. I won't be there Thursday, going to take some time with my family on New Year's Day, but tomorrow, Friday, and Saturday, and probably some on Sunday, preparing for the staff and students on Monday, will be there. But definitely, if there's a community member who is willing and able to donate to that stage area, the cafetorium area, we would greatly appreciate that.
So we're talking about some size here. How do you compare the new building in terms of square footage for usable space as opposed to what you're leaving behind? Is that a great improvement?
So I am leaving a district role in Jasper County, and so the schools that we have in Jasper County, I can say this: our elementary schools had roughly 700 students each, and those were pre-K through 5 schools. And then when you add in 6 through 8, you're looking at 1,100 to 1,200 students pre-K through 8. So the Academy of Hope is definitely smaller in terms of numbers of students. And then the charge of the Academy of Hope is different, because I am, we put interim principal there, but I'm actually the interim executive director and principal. And the thing to know about charter schools is our primary financing is based upon the number of students that we have. So the more students you have, the more funding you have. The less students you have, of course, the less funding that you have. And so, again, we're at 85 students. We're roughly at 25 staff members between support staff and the teachers that we have. in the building. So it is much smaller in nature, but the scope of the work that I'm responsible for, because of the student population. We don't have an assistant principal. We don't have, a school counselor. We don't have some of the things that other schools have. I am all of those positions, and I feel, with my background that, I can fulfill those things to capacity. Both roles, the executive director side, the administrative side, as well as the principal side. But of the two positions, the principal position is the primary role, because that is the role that impacts students directly, that impacts staff directly. So the long answer to your question is that it is a much smaller, intimate setting at the Academy of Hope than what I am coming from in Jasper County.
Okay, I think we got the clarity of my question probably didn't reach you. I was making a comparison between if it's still the existing building. I think it's over on Juniper Bay.
Yes.
And when do you? Yeah. So when do you move into the new building? I think you're scheduled to move there, right? The new location.
I believe that is a work in progress. I
Okay.
have not received any information about that to date in terms of what that is going to look like. So I can't really speak to that, like the spacing or size or anything of that nature.
Okay, then. Yeah.
So I think it's interesting, Eugene, when you were explaining you're basically the EDP, and which is the executive director / principal. And one way that I've heard it described is that the principal is primarily focused on, or seems to have on, the academic hat, whereas the executive director has on the business hat. Talk about why
Correct.
those two pieces actually have to merge in a way that makes sense for the academy or for any charter school that operates with that type of a structure. Executive director is more of the business side, the principal is more of the academic side. So talk a little bit about that.
So absolutely. And and this is in the ideal charter world where, you build your charter and you're meeting your attendance goals and all of those things that you have outlined. The structure is typically that you have an executive director who is overseeing the totality of the charter, which means there's a chief financial officer that falls under the executive director, chief operating officer, a human resources director, and then you have a family and community engagement coordinator or director, and a couple of other positions. And then under the role of executive director also falls the principals or building leaders of the charter school, because most charters, if they're doing pre-K through 5 or pre-K through 8, some of them have multiple buildings, so multiple leaders that fall under the executive director. What is unique about the Academy of Hope, as I was mentioning earlier, is that I have to carry both hats as the executive director. So I'm supervising myself as executive director and principal, and so I have to wear the business hat, and I also have to wear the principal hat. And so with this charge, I have to be very intentional and strategic about all of the decisions that I bring to the board for approval, because at the end of the day, again, we're talking longevity of the institution, getting the Academy of Hope back to a place of viability, getting it to a place, as I stated to the board, where it becomes the premier charter school, not just in Horry County, but in South Carolina. And so you have to have long-term vision and long-term goals from the executive director side, but you also have to use wisdom and be very intentional and explicit about the actions that you take for the now. And that's the role of the principal. And so it is a unique dynamic in that when the principal does their job right, we're going to enroll more students. We're going to see the population of the school grow, because we'll be able to market that success, which makes the executive director side extremely happy because then we have more funds to work with, which means we can offer more opportunities to our students, and we can look at even greater long-term goals in terms of, again, the viability of the institution. So they are two different roles that definitely complement each other, um, and have very uh, specific purposes for the success of the Academy of Hope.
Hmm. Well, thank you so much for that explanation. And so, again, if anyone is interested in learning more about the Academy of Hope, you can just schedules a visit with Eugene or with Dr. Bellamy. And here's the information for that: ebellum at theacademyofhope.org. You can visit the website, which is the academyofhope.org, to learn more about the school. So upcoming events, because it is a public school and or public charter school that also is governed by a board, there are regular monthly board meetings. So the next board meeting is January 13th, is my understanding. And so
Yes.
Eugene, talk a little bit about that and how the public can view.
So yes, our next board meeting is January 13th. I have heard that prior to my arrival, those meetings were taking place kind of like midday, 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock, somewhere around there. But uh, just in my background in education, you want to make sure those meetings are accessible by your parents in your community who would like to attend. And so we are shifting that meeting to a 5:30 start time. These are virtual meetings in its idea, because we do have some of our board members who are not local, but we are also going to institute a piece where if we have parents or community members who would like to attend, they will have the opportunity to, one, join us virtually, but two, come into the building. I will be there sharing my updates. You know, the board will be live virtually. We'll have those discussions that we need to have. But again, we want to make sure that the community and parents understand that we want to hear from you, and we want you knowledgeable of what actually is going on. One of the keys to leadership is being fully transparent. We're not hiding anything from you. We're not trying to be discreet and sneaky. It is what it is. Where we are is where we are. But where we are does not define where we're going. And so we have to have some critical conversations. We have to make some decisions about the future of the institution, and we want you there. We want you to hear. We want you to see the board at work. We want you to see the dynamics of the relationship between the board and myself as the EDP. But yeah, 5:30 on the 13th. Again, you can join us virtually. We will have that posted, the agenda posted, the announcement posted on our website, as well as our social media pages. And we just look forward to you joining us and hearing about the work that we are completing at the Academy.
So what, are there factors of any kind of competition that you have to, as a challenge for you there? For example, the regular public school system regarding recruitment for, you know, and for more students and so forth. Do you look at that as competition? And
I don't look at it as competition, because every school has value, and every school has a purpose. What I do, or what I would like to do over the course of this next semester, is begin developing or redeveloping the Academy of Hope brand, and helping the community and parents understand why uh, we are the institution where you want to send your child. You do have a number of choices. You could send them. Horry County has 8 charter schools that you can choose from Bridgewater Academy to Palms Charter to all those other ones that have popped up over the course of the year. And then, of course, they have public schools, some of them who are serving students very well. But over the course of this next semester, my goal is to help families understand that Academy of Hope is the premier institution of learning in Horry County School District. And what we will offer students is first class. It is top notch. And we will not make any excuses or any bones about that. And so the staff that will remain, or any future staff that comes, there's just a level of excellence that we must maintain and carry, to provide that to our students. And so, you know, I am 100% the Academy of Hope. Yes, I'm new, but where I am, I give 100% to. And so I will never demean or talk down about any other institution of learning, because again, we all have our place. We all have value. But what I will say is what you will see over the next semester and in the coming year is that the Academy of Hope will be the premier, not just charter school, but the premier public school in Horry County schools. It is something that I believe with every fiber of my being. And as a man of faith, I know that as long as, you know, I give that petition to the Lord, eyes have not seen, nor ears heard, nor has it entered into the imagination what God is going to do for the Academy of Hope. And so that's just where I am with that.
Be mindful, man. We're not interviewing you, all right? So
we are interviewing him, brother. We are interviewing him, and he is totally covered his school, his staff, his students by just those words. And also, any frog that has a problem praising their own pond is a poor frog. So you certainly are praising your pond even before you've had a chance to swim around in it. And I think it's wonderful that you have that vision and that motivation. Just, you know, you really have the you have the passion for education, which will take you, you know, far in this endeavor. So congratulations to you. Tanya DeWitt Green says, you better preach. And Monet Bezant, say it, Dr. Bellamy. So it's great that, you know, everyone is showing you love and support, and we'd like for the community to continue to do that. And so, again, if you want to visit the school or you just want to reach out to Dr. Bellamy with some thoughts about how you can help as a community leader, just someone who's interested in education, or if you have some ideas, resources, anything that you believe could be a benefit to the school, you can reach out to him. And earlier I said eBellamy, but it's eBellamy at theacademyofhope.org. Visit the website, of course, and there's a contact page where you can drop in some information and a message, and I'm sure that they'll be in touch with you soon. So, Eugene, thank you so much for being with us tonight. We really do appreciate it. Marjorie McIver says, I'm here to support. I'm sure her eyes were like this when you were talking about reading. That's her thing, you know. And yes, Daryl Connor Jr. Yeah, thank you for watching, Daryl. I think Daryl's in the Charlotte area, I believe. This is great. Yeah, great. There's Tanya Robinson. Awesome. Excited. Looking forward to the great work you will do. Thank you so much, Tanya, for watching tonight. Anyway, do you have any parting words before we let you go and enjoy your family?
Yes, I do. I want to invite this Sunday at 4:00 p.m. as many of you who will come. As I say that I am a man of faith. And so what I want to do is, before we get this new semester started, is that I want to cover the Academy of Hope with prayer. And so if there are any community members, any parents, bring the students out. You know, we invite everybody who is encouraged or inspired to support the Academy of Hope on Sunday at 4:00 to the Academy of Hope. And we just want to cover our students. We want to cover our parents, and we want to let them know that the fruits of what we do is not just about us, but there is something greater working on all of our behalf. And I think that is an extremely important way to start this charge that I don't take lightly. And I understand that to whom much is given, much is required. And so to get through all that we have to go through, again, the Bible speaks about praying without ceasing. And so with that in mind, I invite you to the campus of the Academy of Hope to solicit prayers on behalf of the staff and for the students for the coming year.
Mm-hmm.
All right, man.
Yes, thank you so much. And of course, the Academy of Hope is located at 3521 Jennifer Bay Road in Conway. That's 3521 Jennifer Bay Road. You can always just, pop it into your map or your GPS and you'll find it. And that's down 378 in Conway. So thank you
Yes.
for letting us know that. And 4 p.m. on Sunday, there's going to be prayer on the lawn at Academy of Hope. That's awesome.
Yes.
That is awesome. All
Yes.
right. Well, Eugene,
Absolutely.
thank you so much for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And good luck to you.
Thank you so much.
Godspeed,
Mhm.
man. You're going to be a jewel in the community. A greater jewel. You're already a jewel. But
Thank you.
All
Thank you.
right.
thank you
Thank
for
you.
coming
Thank
on.
you. So, Brother Edward, it was great talking to Eugene tonight. And can you believe that we are on the knocking on New Year's Eve door? How about that?
Yeah, I was hoping you wouldn't say that because
2025 is getting ready to roll out.
man, I don't know. And I haven't done all the things that I want to do.
Neither have
Yeah,
I.
yeah, and the year just rolling around. So to
Hmm.
our viewers, we want to wish all of you all a very, very prosperous new year, and you can fulfill all those new year resolutions that you made last year. You can have them fall over back for this year. you know, so hey, don't feel bad about it. I mean, just decide to do it.
I
You
stopped making
know,
resolutions a long time ago.
yeah, yeah,
Long time ago. But yeah, some people still do it, and some people
yeah.
stick to it. I think it's wonderful. But this year has been an incredible year. Lots of ebbs and flows and just ups and downs, lefts and rights. I mean, we as individually, we've probably gone through a lot. As a society, we've gone through a lot. As a country, a world, we've gone through a lot. And I just hope that 2026 brings us a breath of fresh air and some newness and renewal that I'm sure we all could use right about now. I hope it just blows our hair back and we just feel like, woo, we needed this. We were ready for this. There's some great events that are happening, Brother Edward, coming in 2026 in the first couple of months. Of course, in January, there's always a celebration, the MLK Day celebration. February kicks off the pretty much I guess, the observance of Black History Month, even though Black History is 365. So,
That's for sure. I'm glad you said that.
absolutely, absolutely. So, but I do have a couple of announcements about things that are going on in the community in the coming months. But we're going to start with the congratulations to Marilyn Hemingway of the
Absolutely,
the Gullah Geechee Chamber of
absolutely.
Commerce. Recognized, I think this is an inaugural designation, but one of the South Carolina 500 SC Biz top business organizations for the Gullah Geechee Chamber of Commerce. And of course, she has the Gullah Geechee Chamber Foundation Incorporated. So congratulations, Marilyn Hemingway. She's always on the grind,
Yeah,
always doing big things, always doing big things. And then, of course, we're celebrating Kwanzaa. We're in the midst of Kwanzaa. Brother Edward, I was so excited, trying to remind everyone that, there's a Kwanzaa stamp that came out in 2024. Hopefully it's still available. Check the U.S. Postal Service to see if there's still the Kwanzaa stamps available. And of course, if so, then always support when it comes down to the Kwanzaa celebrations. So we do have a couple of New Year's celebrations that are coming up as well. Browns Ferry community is doing a New Year's 2026 parade in the Oatland community. Grand Marshal is Melissa Jefferson Wooden, of course, the Olympian. How about that,
yes,
Brother Edward?
absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. So that's going to happen on New Year's Day. The parade starts at 12. The lineup begins at 11 a.m. And so if you want to participate or need more information, contact Erica Livingston at 843-344-2750. So that's the New Year's 2026 parade in the Oatland community in Georgetown. And Grand Marshal is Melissa Jefferson Wooden. Then on January 1st, there is going to be a commemoration of the first day of emancipation, which was January 1st, 1863. It's happening at Freewood Farms. There's a farm tour that starts at 10 a.m. and then a farmhouse fireside chat At 11:30 a.m., Abraham Lincoln and the Emancipation Proclamation with Professor O'Neill Smalls. So that's a free event, donations accepted or appreciated, and that's happening at Freewood Farms, which is at 9515 Freewoods Road in Myrtle Beach.
For those of you who've never been there, you will be witnessing historical events and new revelations regarding the ownership of farms by slaves during or just after the slave emancipation. So it's worth it. But hurry up though, because my understanding is they're expecting a huge busload, a couple of busloads. So do your best to get there. And Professor O'Neill Smalls, as usual, I believe April. This is usually an annual event. I don't know if it occurred last year or not, but it's been going on since I've been back. So,
wow,
every year, every year.
Well, as noted on this flyer, 163 years later, Brother Edward, that wasn't really that long ago.
That's right.
Think about it.
That's true.
It wasn't really that long ago. There's some people who we know who are close to 100 years old or who live to be 100 or older. So, I mean, just think about it. That really wasn't that long ago. Yeah. So then, of course, the Myrtle Beach Waves of Praise Gospel Fest is having their winter edition January the 3rd at 5 p.m. at Mount Olive AME Church. That's at 1108 Carver Street in Myrtle Beach. And the featured artist is Grammy-nominated artist Luther Barnes. This is what Reggie Dyson describes as a pop-up event. It's kind of like I guess, Myrtle Beach Waves of Praise Light.
Yeah.
Monday in September. But there's a great assortment of acts that who will be at Mount Olive. And if you're interested in learning more about the upcoming event or even any other event dates that are scheduled, you can go to mbwavesofpraise.com to see event details. But this is happening on January 3rd. So that would be that Saturday, right?
Right, in Mount Olive.
Free admission.
They better hurry up. They better get there early.
Yeah, better get there early. Free admission. It starts at 5. Featured artist is Luther Barnes, and there's a host of other choirs and even some local choirs that are actually performing. So, try to put that on your calendar and attend that event. And then the Conway-Horry County MLK Planning Committee presents the 46th annual MLK Day Be the Dream event, and that's going to be Monday, January 19th at 11 a.m. at Bethlehem number 1 Missionary Baptist Church, which is out on the Sand Ridge at 1503 Dirty Branch Road. There's going to be a youth breakout session led by Pastor Richard Williams. The guest speaker is going to be Pastor April Cole Jackson. There will also be an MLK Day Be the Dream March held that morning at 9:30 a.m. The march will begin at the Sand Ridge Park, and then they'll make a right onto Cates Bay Highway. Participants will then walk 1 mile, ending at Bethlehem number 1 Missionary Baptist Church. So all are invited to participate. If you'd like to contribute to this program, you can mail your contributions to the Conway-Horry MLK Planning Committee, P.O. Box 3121, Conway, South Carolina, 29528. Complimentary lunch to go, it says, will be available after the program.
And many thanks to Brother Edric Alston, who's the president, my understanding, or the chairperson.
Okay, all right, awesome.
For the ML, yeah.
Okay, great. So the AKA's Move Phi Omega chapter, they're hosting a college preparation workshop that's going to be held at Carvers Bay Early College and Career High School Auditorium on Saturday, January 31st from 10 to 12 noon. If you would like to register all your high school senior or junior parents and guardians, you also are invited to attend. You can scan that QR code for more information, but you'll at the workshop, you'll be able to learn about scholarships, financial aid guidance, course curriculum recommendation letters, campus involvement, college readiness skills, you name it. They are trying to get the young people ready for college. So that's wonderful. Students who bring the most peers, or the student who brings the most peers, will win a free laptop. So grab your friends. You're trying to win a laptop for school.
Yeah, that's right.
And head on over to this event. Make sure that you do that. Yeah.
It's open to all high school juniors and seniors.
Mm-hmm. All high
Parents and
school juniors
guardians
and
are
seniors.
invited.
Yes, absolutely. All right. And then I think this is the last announcement that I have for this evening. So on Saturday, February the 28th, there's a program that's celebrating the 20th anniversary of the historic Myrtle Beach Colored School Museum and Education Center, honoring the Triple Nines. And the Triple Nines are the 9 former students of the historic Myrtle Beach Colored School Museum and Education Center, the first 9 students who integrated Horry County schools in Myrtle Beach and Conway, and the 9 souls lost at Mother Emanuel AME Church. So this is happening on Saturday, February the 28th at 6 p.m. As you can see to the left of this flyer, the names of the Triple Nines who will be honored at that event. Seating is limited. It is going to happen at the Mary C. Canty Recreation Center, which is located at 971 Canal Street in Myrtle Beach. Complimentary dinner and entertainment by A Beautiful Experience and EG Productions. You must RSVP. You can RSVP yourself plus one by February the 18th to April Johnson. She's with Neighborhood Services, Myrtle Beach Neighborhood Services for the city of Myrtle Beach. And her number is 843-918-1061. Seating is limited. It is a semi-formal affair. Semi-formal, Brother Edward.
Gotcha.
So some great stuff going on in the area. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And people got to understand that, you know, it's not as salient, or for lack of a better word, as many people seem to be observing. There's a lot going on. Okay, World Community Magazine. I mean, we pick up on a lot of stuff. People are sending in things about what's happening and stories and events about the things going on. I mean, it's just a whole lot that's going on. We just got to get the word out there in some kind of way to make sure that it's efficiently received. You know. So.
Well, we're using the broadcast to do that, Brother Edward.
Yeah, well, that's just one of that's just one of the venues that's out there, and that's free 99.
Oh, that's right. That's right. So
that's free 99.
We just need to, with every show, continue to encourage people to send in their announcements. And I'm going to put a little banner up here. If you have a community announcement, send it to me, and I'll make sure that we get it onto the broadcast. And of course, you got to make sure it's timely now, because we're every Tuesday at 7:00. So if something is happening yesterday or happened yesterday, it's too late tonight. But if it's happening tomorrow, then you can get it in. Okay. But the bottom line is we are an outlet that you can use for community events, particularly community events that are free to the public. And if you want to do something else, you should be in touch with Brother Edward. He has the magazine and can probably talk to you about how you can package your advertisements for the web, for the magazine, and all that good stuff. So get it to us, and we'll be sure to announce it.
Yeah, and April, you can forward everybody to our website, right, where you get the magazine. Everything is in the magazine on our website, wcmagazine.net, and there you have it. Okay.
Absolutely. So, well, Brother Edward, it has been great tonight. And we'd like to thank again Dr. Eugene Bellamy Jr. for joining us. He is the new interim principal at the Academy of Hope. And we'd like to thank all of our viewers who commented and sent him well wishes and encouragement.
Yeah, absolutely.
And hopefully you all will be able to attend the prayer on the lawn at the Academy of Hope on Sunday, this coming Sunday at 4 p.m. so that we can make sure that the students, faculty, and staff, parents and families, all of the community stakeholders start the new year off right with the covering of God. And we just hope that everyone can attend. And we certainly pray that Dr. Bellamy and his staff and faculty will have a wonderful year, and the students.
We're also praying for some excellent weather for this to occur. Big time.
Yes.
Okay. Big time.
Yes, absolutely. So, Brother Edward, with that being said, I hope that everyone has a wonderful new year. Thank you for a wonderful 2025 World Community Magazine. We try to do this every Tuesday night. That's almost 52 Tuesdays out of the year. Sometimes not, here and there. And we appreciate all of your support, your encouragement. Just please continue to spread the word about this little homegrown grassroots community show that's highly impactful in our community, because we talk about everything. We talk about community, health, government, education, service, empowerment, you name it. If it's a broadcast that we can create and bring to all of you to enlighten and inspire, then it's definitely something that we enjoy doing. I know I enjoy doing it. And so just thank you all for the continued support.
And for those of you who meet me at the post office all the time, talking about, I heard y'all had a good broadcast. Well, just check it out.
Just check it out.
Yeah, just check it out.
Just check it out. Like Brother Edward says, just go to the website, wcmagazine.net, and you can pass that along. Just tell everybody, go to the website, because the broadcast is there for a week. We switch it out every week with every new guest. So this broadcast will be available until Monday of next week, or maybe even Tuesday afternoon. And so, there's always a chance for everyone to take a look at the broadcast. We also it's connected to our YouTube page, so you can go and see past broadcasts if you like. But we do appreciate all the support. Thank you, Thurman, for joining us tonight, and Cecil McQueen for joining us tonight. We really do appreciate it. And of course, Betty Gauze.
That's good.
Yeah. And Brenda Brown, we appreciate it. As you can see, we get into naming names. We try anyway. But everyone have a good night. Yeah. We really do appreciate it. Yes, take care, Godspeed, and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you, April.
Happy New Year to you too, Brother Edward.
Okay.
All right.
Thank you for watching the World Community Magazine's Hour of Power Live on Facebook.